I was just flipped off by a silver-haired old lady with a honk if you love Jesus sticker on the bumper of her car.
Welcome back to Pagitt Radio on AM 950. It is the July 25th edition of Cripes. Come on. You got to be kidding me. This is a little segment that we do in each of our radio programs. Recognizing the fact that sometimes things in our world are not the way we want them to be. There's these things that make you say cripes and come on, and you got to be kidding me, and you live with that frustration. And then we're reminded at the end of each of our shows that you're not called to just be in a world where you complain, where you gripe, but you're called to a world where you make it the way you want it. The things that we call right on. Okay, here it is. We got to run through this fast because there's a lot on these today. I usually go in the order of cripes and come on and you got to be kidding me. But today I'm going to do the you got to be kidding me first. And that's just because I know there's so much time I want to spend on the cripes and the come on. I don't know if I'll get to it. So here's the you got to be kidding me. I earned this one this week because of my poor Netflix management. I don't know if you know how Netflix works, folks, but you can order DVDs and I get them I can have 3 at a time. And I was trying to watch the end of Battlestar Galactica, the entire series. I was down to the last 2 discs, the last 5 episodes. Friday night I sat down and realized that I had so mismanaged the queue that they were en route and I didn't have them, so I had to drive.
You couldn't get your nerd on, huh?
Couldn't get my nerd. I was doing everything I could, so I worked it. I went to the Blockbuster and rented them for $10.
Right on.
So here I pay $15 a month for these things, and then I have to go spend $10 just to watch the last 2 because that was the time I had set aside for it. That was it. So I finished the entire series, but I was like driving along, driving to 2 different video stores, saying to myself, "You got to be kidding me! What am I doing? It's a beautiful Friday night, and I'm nerding out in some sort of compulsion-like attitude." All right, so I earn it, right? And I try every week. I try to throw myself under the cripes. Come on, you got to be kidding me tires here, because I know that I'm not the one who's always making a right on in the world. Sometimes I'm the guy who makes the world the way that it shouldn't be. I recognize that, but I don't want to stay there. I don't want to live like that. But let me tell you who gets the cripes. The cripes goes out to MySpace. I don't know if you know about this, but it's a little website. Used to be a big deal, MySpace,
never heard
for
of
bands and for this kind of thing. Long time ago, I had a MySpace account. I haven't been on there for 3 years. I've never understood how it worked. A couple of conversations went on this week. I was doing a social media boot camp, and it came up, and I was talking with someone, and I saw a little line on Saturday Night Live. So last night, I decided I'm going to go see what's going on over at MySpace. So I log back in, and it turns out MySpace, it's now softcore porn.
Oh, really?
Oh, cripes. I mean, at every page. So I put it over in there on the Doug Pagitt Radio page on Facebook, facebook.com, Doug Pagitt Radio. You can look at it there. Every page I went to, it knows that I'm 40-ish years old. It tells me that in the profile. And every page, either on the banner on the top or the thing down the side, there's pictures of scantily clad women beckoning me. It's just ridiculous. So I took screen grabs. I was on 4 pages, including cancel my account page. And there's women with an unnatural gland look. It was just, I couldn't believe it. The softcore porn-like sexualization of MySpace. It's just pathetic. So, folks, listen. If your kids are on, I don't say this. I'm not a prude. I don't say this about. But if you have teenagers on MySpace, cancel their accounts. Cripes. Things owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns that big publisher called Zondervan. And it's just trash on this thing. And I think it comes out of that sensibility of Rupert Murdoch's industry. It's just really bad. So they earn the cripes. I earn the you got to be kidding me. And come on, you know who gets that? Sprint. All right, let me tell you the Sprint story.
Okay.
I've been with Sprint since 2006. And in May, at the end of May, last half of the month of May, and in June, our family plan, which has 5 phones on it, of which I'm not one of those. I was on AT&T. But my other family members shared a 5 plan, had 1,500 minutes. A couple of things changed while I was in Haiti, and I didn't see the bill for May. I didn't see it until I got the June bill. A couple of things changed, and we overused our minutes on Sprint.
Sure.
So I open up my bill at the end of June, and it's for $1,100.
Oh, my God.
$1,100 phone bill. So I call Sprint, and I say to them, hey, this can't be right. I mean, and well, you have $750 in overages. And so I looked, and they said, well, if you had changed your account one of those months to the next level up, would have cost you $50, and there would have been no overages. So it would have been $100 between the 2 months. Instead, they charged me $750.
Wow.
So I say to them, look, I've been a customer for a long time. Do you think we could do something about this? So a woman says, well, I'll put in a request. So she puts in a request, and she calls me back and basically says, we can give you 25% off. $176 or something off of it. So she left it as a voicemail, which means that she knew she was being recorded. So I have that audio recording right now. So here it is, the woman from Sprint calling and leaving me a message, and here's what she says.
Yes, sir. This is Sprint Account Services. I'm the person that actually filed the case for you on the overages on the accounts. I am calling you to negotiate the overages. The case that I did file, as I mentioned to you, I couldn't promise anything. They did decline that case because they are valid charges. I do understand that you are a loyal customer with us and have been with us since 2006. I can offer 25% of the overages, being $176.80. So if you want to accept that offer, then you can go ahead and give us a call back, or you can contact me at your earliest convenience. Thanks again, and you have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
I mean, come on. We know you're a loyal customer, she says. But you know what? They're valid charges. Yeah, valid charges. So I talked to these, and I've called Sprint, 5 or 6 times on this. I've talked to a variety of people. Now they've offered me, how about 50%? I'm like, oh, so first you tell me to pay you $700, then you tell me to pay you $600, and now you're going to tell me to pay you $350. How about $0? Like, apparently it's just all negotiation, Sprint. Sure. Been with them for 4 years, and then that was with a 2-year interval, and I was with them for 6 years before that, 10 years. In those last 4 years that we've been with them, like, we spend $200 a month on this phone bill, $2,400 a year over the last 4 years we've been spending with these people, and they're going to do this to us and then say, yeah, we know you've been a loyal customer, but that's sort of the way it is. Yeah. So I've talked to him and said, isn't there a way? I mean, come on. Couldn't you do something to say, you know what? We're just going to change your account and we're going to backdate that. But all these people say we can't. We have to send up a form and get their response back.
Even the bank, will, overlook, an overdraft here and there.
Yeah. I didn't use any commodity of theirs that required $700 from me. Because if I had updated my account, it would have been $100 worth of it, which... That in and of itself, right, to use another 1,500 minutes is going to cost you another $50. Like, it's just, the phones are so expensive in the first place. But it's a deal, and it's fair. So I know, look, we went over, and you know what a guy told me when I called him? He said, well, you know what you should have done? You should have checked your phone usage throughout the month. And I said, I think I need to be with a phone company that doesn't require me to keep up on my phone usage every month. It's not like we're buying the $49 rate here already. We pay you $200 a month. Come on, Sprint.
Well, when you have a credit card and you use, an excessive amount that's abnormal, they'll freeze the account and give you a call.
So here's what the guy said to me yesterday when I called him. He said, well, you know what the problem is? You're one of our finer customers. With our not-so-fine customers, with our not-so-good customers, we put a limit on how much they can go over because we don't think they'll be able to pay. But you don't have a limit because you're one of our finer customers. So I said, so I get penalized for being one of your finer customers? Right. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. And then the woman calls back and says, hey, that's the way it goes. If you want to take this offer, let me know. Yeah. So, now, you know what showed up at my house yesterday?
What?
5 phones from AT&T.
Right
there you go, Sprint. Can't do much about it. Hey, folks, if you're on MySpace, get your kids off it. If you're a Sprint, give it to them. If you're on Netflix, do it better than me. Cripes, come on, you got to be kidding me. Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950. Hey, we're going to be back after this with a woman named Krista Tippett. She hosts a little radio program herself. We'll be chatting with her here after the break.